The Brethren of Chaos podcast.
So Saladin, he's a fucking war general himself anyway, isn't
one
he?
of the best in history.
He
Put him next to Napoleon, in my opinion.
United the whole of that Middle East, didn't he? But he started off as a low-rank polo player. That was one of his titles. He wasn't like, one of the like some people are born into big stuff.
roles. Yeah,
He was born. I don't know how this is, but like a polo player, low rank. But
horse.
And another thing, I thought I'd mention this. It's so funny, but he had a master, and his master died from overeating.
Oh my god!
And I thought, like, it didn't explain anything else. I couldn't
More
find
Saladin.
like,
Sure.
What is? How does that happen? What is his master just absolutely obese? And
That's
just
the way I want to go. To be fair,
having loads of curries.
absolutely.
I wonder if it's the translation thing. Maybe he choked. He just
True,
stuff
yeah,
in his
maybe
gullet.
he did.
Yeah.
But I like that overeating.
Overeating.
Yeah, I don't want to change that now.
He's had a load of naan bread. He's done it.
yeah.
Sir, one more peanut. Might do it.
Yeah, just one.
Never tell me the odds.
Yeah, so Saladin, he was basically what I can't remember where he was born. It was like Lower Arabia.
Yeah,
Round-
he's very much the definition of meritocracy with Saladin. He earned everything that he
built up, and he ended up in charge of Egypt, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was in Egypt first.
Egypt was like his main fucking dominion, his main dungeon of
Basically the king
chaos.
of Egypt.
Yeah, but Arabia, it's always been it's like loads of tribes, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, and
It still is like now, really, isn't
round
it?
about the first crusade, there was a huge caliphate.
Yeah.
That was the entire, a large part of that peninsula in general.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know the exact history, but it was very fractious by the time the first, the first crusade itself deserves a whole podcast. But that was a miraculous crusade. The fact that succeeded, I thought, was all down to the fact it was so fractured at the time.
It just pulled it off.
He unfractures a lot of it.
Yeah. So he steps up, doesn't he, and like sorts it all out. But he so one of his problems as well, though, he was fighting loads of within that, within all the tribes, killing Muslims. So at the time he was like building it all together, he had a bad rep, didn't he, within his own. It wasn't like he's unifying them and everybody's like, oh yeah, Saladin, he's fucking sorting us out. What I got was like the opposite, where he's unifying, but everybody's like, oh, he's fucking he's killing us, he's killing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, because they see themselves as like all Muslims, rather than like over in like Europe is all like the countries and all that.
Yeah,
like Christendom.
It was less of like it wasn't nations.
Yeah, the bigger picture was like we're Muslim, and like
nations barely didn't really exist in medieval Europe either. It's just something we've put a lens over as the years.
Yeah,
we've
put
big
it
kingdoms, but it wasn't very specific borders or.
Right.
A lot of it was just, I own this land, you pay me tax.
This is it.
Funny.
Yeah. So he eventually took control of Egypt, Arabia, Syria, like that whole. We can look on the map there. The on the globe, spin the globe around. But basically, it was like.
Go. So we're here. Oh, not too far. Here.
Yeah, so it was all around there. That bit, wasn't it?
Area.
And
Cyprus.
in 1185, he had a near-death experience. And in his
overeating again.
He's had too much. He's fucking scran too. He had a big fat kebab.
So began the great diet.
Yeah. Well, he had a near-death experience, and while he was dying, he had a revelation that Jerusalem needed getting taken over again. Because by the Second Crusade, they took Jerusalem, didn't they? And in his whatever, he was like fucking thinking he's about to log off. He's like, oh shit,
log off.
We need to take Jerusalem, and called for jihad, which is like the
version of crusade, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
to fight.
Bring on the Muslim nation, bring on the Catholic nation.
Yeah, bit of jihad, bit of good old jihad.
Jihad.
So I think that's where he turned around everybody against him. Not everybody against. Not I wouldn't say like properly against him, but they were like.
Hey, if you give someone an enemy to face,
Yeah.
You'll unify.
That's it. He said, called for jihad and said, we need to take Jerusalem. And that was when people were like, actually, this guy is the one. He is fighting for us now. Yeah. Let's forget about the fact that I'm fucking been slaughtering each other.
He's united us via bloodshed and nothing else.
And then, so he united everybody. And then in 2 years later, the 1187, there's that first battle where is it Hattin, the Battle of Hattin. So basically, this is 2 years after his revelation. He goes, and it's the French are in Jerusalem.
It's a French nobleman that's king of Jerusalem.
King of Jerusalem.
Oh, it was. And I don't know what.
I think it is. Yeah.
It wasn't just It wasn't just an unprovoked attack on Jerusalem. Obviously, had the divine that it should be.
Yeah. We
but
need to take control.
There was a French duke that lived in Jerusalem at the time.
Yeah.
He killed Saladin's sister.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. That was.
That's
juicy as well. I know.
Oh shit!
Raided a caravan of people, I think, and she was among them.
Oh, the bloody French!
Fucking hell.
The bloody French.
Up to all sorts here. They got the fingers in every part of the country, every part of the world.
I love them.
The Normans were in Italy. There's bloody French in.
Yeah, and they were only small as well, weren't they?
Kingdom of Jerusalem. Yeah.
I mean France.
Oh yeah, but like you understand, like the for English noblemen in aristocracy at this point is all France.
They're French, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
It's just people on the ground of their different nationality.
Yeah, I get what you mean there.
So, like, it could be, you say a French nobleman, but a French nobleman from England, a French nobleman from Brittany.
That makes sense, actually.
Had been its own, up until very recently, had been its own independent dukedom.
Yeah. When was Charlemagne? Is he before?
That's like the 700s.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Way before.
We're not going on there.
Yeah.
I know he's like a big French dude,
Well,
isn't
he
he?
was the first Holy Roman Emperor.
Is that what, like, the guy you made that part? Like, it's...
He was the Pope ordained heir to the Roman Empire.
I get when it split off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there was a
we're on a tangent there.
the Eastern Roman Empire at the time, the Byzantine Empire.
That's it, yeah.
But there was a female ruler in charge.
What?
And that was enough for the Catholic Church to be like, what?
Excuse me.
And Charlemagne was quite the figure at the time, getting his own battles won, killing heretics, all that stuff. And he was like, yo, I'm going to ordain you the Holy Roman Emperor.
Yeah,
all of this land is technically yours. Just go and get it or whatever.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, we should
Pope
do
9727.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do an episode of Charlemagne. He's got like a big history, hasn't he? But anyway, yeah, so Saladin, now I didn't know about that, but this killed his sister.
Yeah. I mean,
so
you might have to fact check that, but I'm sure that was a big motivating factor.
That's another reason there, yeah, to go into Jerusalem.
It's all very personal.
So basically, he went up to Jerusalem, but didn't take the through the castle walls or anything. He stayed outside. And I don't know how he tricked him.
What was his name? Because about the Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah.
The main character in that was a real life figure who held Jerusalem against Saladin for a good while, and then ordered the surrender. Every Catholic was allowed to leave without being killed.
Yeah, that's
one of his one of his terms.
Think of that.
And Saladin was a very, very fair, by all accounts.
Well, yeah.
Victor, when
he wasn't like fucking crazy, like all that pettiness shit, wasn't he?
No, not at all. It was all about respect as well.
That's it.
He respected Richard as a military leader.
Which is funny because, like, on the other side, the European people were all based around chivalry, and they're like complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's actually Saladin who's fucking chivalrous.
Oh, yeah. Richard was not chivalrous at all when he came to the Holy Land.
But basically, he went to Jerusalem with his army, and he didn't attack it, but he stayed outside and played like mind games with the guy inside in his army.
The guy.
I can't remember his name. But he thought like he was deceived in some way. He had some type of idea to take his army out of Jerusalem and go after Saladin, who's like, I think it was like 20 miles away in Hattin. And so the guy went over to Hattin.
I think right. Was it Duke Guy?
Duke Guy?
Yeah.
Duke Guy?
I think it was legit. Was his name?
Duke Guy.
Duke Guy? What a name. Well, this Duke Guy went over to Hattin to take on Saladin's army, who's kind of waited for him. But when they got there, Saladin like poisoned all the water and all that. And obviously,
it was just a bad, desert. It was a bad ruler as well. Like he didn't place his arm. Not Saladin, the other one didn't place his arm. And he had any actual water sources.
Yeah, I didn't. But obviously, you got to think of like the territory here as well as desert, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a big part of like this, when you're navigating these territories, is all about the water.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like Europe. You're going to find water somewhere, aren't you?
Not everywhere. Yeah.
But in this part, it's fucking
absolutely not.
It's all based around where you go in, how you can like support yourselves from the wells and stuff. So they got out to this place, Hatton. And it was the water supplies were poisoned by Saladin.
That's amazing.
Who was waiting there?
Great play.
Who played him out, fucking poisoned the water, and Saladin basically just fucking raped them all, like killed them all in a big battle.
Fucking fantastic.
Literally. And one thing they had as well in Jerusalem, they had a piece of wood that they thought it was part of the cross that Christ died on, and they used to take that into battle with them.
You're joking.
This fucking like 2x4 or something.
It's just fuck all. It's just something they found.
Yeah, like, well, it must have been, mustn't it?
Catholics love their like holy relics. There's like fingers of bishops and hearts that were used in peace treaties and stuff like that.
So basically, every battle in Jerusalem, they win into battle with this like fucking half a piece of pallet or something, fucking pallet wood or something. And in that battle at Hattin, they died. And they left the wood. And Saladin took it, and he said, like, well, this is the perfect tool for bargaining, which comes into it later, this, like, fucking piece of wood that Christ died
so
upon.
He's got basically the piece of wood that fucking, the crucifix.
That's it.
And he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to use this for bribery.
Said, hey, we've got this really rare piece of wood that's, like, so important to our religion. Let's take it on every battle, guys.
Yeah. They take it out to the battles with them. And they thought it was like it gave them power and good luck and all that bullshit. But then if you lose, you fucking lost it like they did. But then a few weeks later after that battle, he sat out or something. He let, like you said, it was that point, he let all the Catholics, the Christians in Jerusalem, he let them all out a free pass. He didn't kill him. When he went into Jerusalem, you'd think like any other...
Insane. And you think about what had happened to him, especially his sister. That's insane mercy.
You'd think he'd go in and just fucking slaughter everybody in the walls of Jerusalem.
And that wouldn't be unmoral or unjust for the times that we're talking about.
Yeah,
it's normal.
It's the norm. The norm to fucking slay everyone.
So that was a hell of a mercy, that.
So he goes in and lets all the Christians. He gives them a free pass and lets them all go. So that was 1187. So that's like while all this fucking pettiness is going on. You know, the sitcoms going on in Europe. And at that time, that's when like Saladin makes a name for himself. So people start in Europe, and Richard would have heard of this guy who's like
Saladin Teeth.
Saladin Teeth took Jerusalem. What's the Saladin Teeth?
Tithe. It's just like a tax to save up money to go to this crusade and
is that what?
Jerusalem.
The Saladin Teeth. So is that so? He would have done that. That's when the call would have been sent out as well, wasn't it, from the Pope? Like Saladin. Let's took Jerusalem. The Pope's done all these calls now to fucking get the Crusaders sorted.
Let's get this gone.
Let's fucking do this. So the Pope sends out, and like Henry II and all that joins. You know, what is it? Takes the cross. Is that the name?
The cross is the great honour of all Catholic rulers.
When you take the cross, you've joined on your fucking
Deus Vult.
Deus, You've what's the word? You pledged your allegiance to the Crusades.
It's like a rite of passage. It's the way that it's viewed.
Yeah. To say that Deus Vult.
Believe it or not, there was obviously religion was everything at that point, but a lot of medieval rulers, obviously constantly in battles, killing thousands of men, they did actually worry about their souls going to hell. From all these personal battles, so doing a crusade today,
it's like fucking free.
It's like a wiping
redemption,
the slate clean.
Shit.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why they got loads of people, didn't they? They said it. All your sins will be like cleared.
All gone.
Wow.
It's like you'll be guaranteed in heaven.
And like you got to think this
best seats in a house if you get this crusade done.
Imagine they're just someone lying that's just bullshit to them. Like, if you do this crusade, all your sins are gone. You'll be able to be a free man. He's like,
high fives.
But they didn't even need to say it like that. Yeah. It was believed. If it was God's will, it was
so
fact.
No persuading.
Yeah, these guys think these.
Especially Richard, who was raised in the south of France, saying with the culture was chivalry, honour.
Yeah.
piety.
Yeah.
That was something like that was everything to
That makes
Richard.
sense.
So,
Does make
the
sense.
setup, before we go into the facts, we're like, the setup of the Crusades is basically you literally go, don't you, with your knights, travel however way to the Holy Land and fight and take the land back.
Go out you can, leave a few people, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've left your family, you've left all your castle,
Richard
whatever.
planned for 3 years
Yeah.
for it to be a 3-year thing.
So you're going for a long time.
Yeah.
You got to. Imagine like you have to support yourself, wouldn't you, for that long?
That's why the money, these taxes and
Yeah.
teeth came in.
Yeah, it's fucking. Would you have gone? I think I would have gone.
If I'm a peasant on the ground and they're going, we'll give you some money plus you get to keep any plunder you find.
Yeah, I get it.
Would you?
It's a big difference from living.
Depends on the age. If you're like a family farmer,
Imagine
you're
if
not
you just
leaving.
living like
Yeah,
a peasant.
It depends what situation you're in, yeah.
If you're just like a 15-year-old on the streets, at that time you would be.
And you're going to a new land you've never been to before, because you probably don't even
Not to
leave.
mention, you get guaranteed in heaven. Like,
Oh yeah, so is the
you
guy.
get
as well.
guaranteed in
Oh,
heaven.
I'll go in.
It doesn't matter if you die in this crusade, boys. You get heaven, guaranteed.
I think it would have been interesting to go
It's what they like. I don't know.
than just living on the farm.
It is insane to think like 900 years ago that there was like that the journey that these people would have gone on for these crusades.
Yeah, you're not getting a train
It's
over there, aren't you?
insane
You,
to think,
you fucking.
The first crusade, they walked to the Holy Land. There's no boats.
Oh my god.
They walked through the Byzantine, like modern day Turkey, all the way down, winning battle after battle.
Yeah,
That
battle
was pure some miracle. They made it all the way to Jerusalem.
That's
Won it.
outrageous.
10,000 steps in.
Yeah, no, yeah, literally.
I mean,
the calories for that.
yeah,
huh?
yeah. Fucking
So,
hell.
so
Thankfully, there was boats for the third one.
yeah. This third one, literally, 1190, Richard set sail for the Holy Land. So after, how long was he in power for as a king? It was a short
Oh,
time,
very
wasn't
short
it?
time, yeah.
1980?
1980.
If you think about it this way,
Like that.
he goes to England to get coronated,
Yeah.
and then he's not there for long before he
Yeah,
sets
he's gone. He's done
Really?
his time to shine
He
in the Holy
gets
Land.
his wealth and gets his
He
arm.
I'm
doesn't
going.
like being fed grapes and shit like
no.
that.
I
He
think
needs
it's
to go
something
and
like
fight.
Richard takes 19,000 or 17,000, and the French king took 2,000.
Oh yeah. Philip II barely took any.
Yeah.
Didn't have any land to gather men
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
So at this time, like they made a truce, didn't they? Like France, Richard, a lot of other places in Europe made a truce. It was under the Pope as well. Like
Yeah.
Pope
Let's
declared
not
it.
wreck
You
each other's
can't,
shit
yeah,
all
you
the time.
can't. While people are over in the Holy Land fighting for like fucking for us, you can't be going into their country and killing everybody and taking their land. So they made like everybody had like a truce,
Yeah.
even though everybody hated each other. and
Like I
wanted to
said,
kill
like
each
Richard
other.
and the King of France left at the same time, so that there'd be no
Yes.
like,
So there's no fucking demon behavior going on.
demon behaviour.
So Richard set off and he went to Sicily first of all.
Did I'm loving this.
Which is he goes Tancred is the I thought that's a cool name, that
Yeah.
Tancred.
He goes there because he's like, yo, you owe my sister money.
Yeah. So his sister is living. Is she living with Tancred or
She-
something?
She was imprisoned.
Was she
Like,
imprisoned?
Yeah, he's usurped the throne, and she was married to the guy and never got the dowry that she was promised. Also, it's important to point out that Richard, who has been betrothed to the French royalty this entire time,
Yeah.
never really liked the person he was betrothed to.
Oh, that list.
And was in love with the Queen of Navarre, which is modern day like northern Spain.
Yeah.
Northeast.
Well, you know that Alice.
Mm.
It's come back to me. Another fact actually that I read was one reason why he didn't fall in love with her is because Henry II was shagging her.
Fuck.
His father. She was his father's mistress.
Would you want your
crazy.
dad's sloppy seconds?
Oh, don't put it that way. Don't say
Fucking
sloppy
hell.
seconds, man. Oh.
So the French king did not like this
No.
at all, and so they actually came to an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't have to be betrothed to the
I
French
see, yeah.
princess anymore. And he left Sicily before Richard did set off.
Yeah, he knew he was
At a
coming.
different time.
Well, when they're in Sicily, so they had a little battle. So this was like a stop off on the way to Holy Land.
I know.
Yeah.
It's class.
Richard's like, I'm having a stop off here in Sicily.
Yeah, I got some
Just-
family business to
Yeah.
take care of.
I'm getting me
Francis is
sister.
like, oh my God, Richard,
Come on.
please.
So he fucks up Sicily, doesn't he? He has like a bit of a revolt with his army that turned up there and saves his sister. And he picks up his Berengaria, which is his future wife,
Yes.
who's the Spain.
Spain, Donny.
I don't know. I think was she there with Eleanor. I think maybe Eleanor turned up at Sicily at the same time.
She's still going,
Pops up
Eleanor.
Oh, she out. Well, spoilers, but she outlives Richard.
Fuck off.
No,
Eleanor.
no joke.
Well,
Oh,
I
this
think
bitch, man.
I think Eleanor turns up at Sicily with
This bitch.
this
You know how much of a respected figure she is right now. Sorry.
This bitch turns up with Richard's future wife Belengara, who he falls in love with. So while Richard's had this stop off on Sicily, he saved his sister. He's got his
And
sister
good money.
on
Not just
board.
that, demanded the money and got it off this guy.
Got the money, and he's picked up his
His
future wife as well. So he's
He
got.
should have stayed in Sicily, lads.
Yeah,
honestly.
stay-
Chad.
And then
What a life.
and then he carries on now. So while he's going,
But it was that insufferable France left before he did.
yeah, there you go. So while he's on his trip to the Holy Land, going across the Med, a storm breaks out, and he ends up on Cyprus. That's it. Yeah, he ends up on Cyprus. Now,
It does. This is actually like this could be a premise for a film. What happens in Cyprus?
Oh, it's great. It's great what happens.
It's really good.
so what happens is he doesn't actually.
It's a ship. Not just like a nice landing. They got fucked by a
His
storm
his-
and they get wrecked on the shore.
his army get wrecked,
Wow.
and the guy, I haven't got the name. The guy,
Yeah, but he's in charge.
who's in charge of Cyprus, hears that Richard, the King of England, has shipwrecked on the island with the Spain girl Belengaria, who's going to be his
basically
wife.
just like the hostage situation of a lifetime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've got these two girls. You got Richard's sister as well.
Yeah.
So they
Eleanor.
I don't think Eleanor comes with them actually.
No,
I think
no,
she
no.
stays in Sicily.
Eleanor's not coming on the Crusades.
Yeah.
So it's got his future wife and his sister, and
And he's took a load of the soldiers hostage as well. He's already captured him.
yeah, and he's like, oh my god, I'm grabbed. This Cyprus guy's like, here we go, happy days. So he grabs him and gets him. And Richard, he didn't shipwreck actually, didn't he?
He's all right, but
Yeah.
a lot of his army did.
And he gets word of this, and he's off the coast, isn't he, or something like that? And he's like, fucking hell, right, here we go.
It's like they don't know who the fuck am I? He's pissed off at this point.
yeah, he's took me wife and my
Wife.
sister, who I've
Half my
just
army's
saved.
gone.
Yeah.
So he goes on to Cyprus and starts one by one taking over each castle, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Of course he does.
Working his way. And there's loads of like talks and stuff trying to like sort it out, trying to like get his sister and whatever. And at one point, the guy Cyprus retreats up into the mountains. He's like too scared of Richard, and he lets Richard take over loads of Cyprus almost. And like there's always the pettiness back and forth, fighting, whatever, and they take it. And eventually he captures the guy Cyprus.
A bit like Richard basically conquered the whole of Cyprus.
Yeah,
Just because this guy had
He
done
wasn't
what
planning
he did.
to.
No,
No, there was no plan for this. But he just messed with the wrong king on the wrong day.
And then when he captures the Cyprus king, they sort out an agreement where the Cyprus king gives himself up, but on the terms he won't be handcuffed in any. He won't be handcuffed. There'll be no iron handcuffs. So Richard agrees to that and handcuffs him in silver instead.
Oh,
That's a Chad move. That is a Chad move.
that is cool.
Fucking, how cool is that? The guy's like,
that's proper
okay, I'll give myself up. He's agreed. Fucking walks over and the handcuffs are in
Yeah,
silver. Yeah, you can keep them as well.
He's like, just stay in this cell for about 20 days while I craft something.
Yeah.
Wait here.
He's quite endearing to
And-
me now.
Cyprus ends up remaining in Catholic hands for a very long time after that. It's
Yeah.
like it ends up being like this sort of semi
Side quest, innit?
colony for Catholics to station themselves.
And
That's crazy.
it turned out as well, Cyprus, if you look on the globe, is a perfect.
It is. Oh yeah, it's right. Yeah,
It's a perfect position.
for the Holy Land.
It's right next to the Holy
Right.
Land. It's a perfect position to have as like
A start off base.
yeah,
Like,
base. Literally, you can get troops in. You've got all the the fucking
He's hit
fruits
the
of the labour
jackpot,
there.
really.
Literally.
You look, there's Cyprus, and every battle takes place on this coast.
So he's just absolutely smashed it,
He's
hasn't he?
fucking
Really?
done
It's
it.
Richard?
shipwrecked. It's like, oh, this shipwreck's crap. But also, we got an island out of it. So
Yeah.
We got this.
I love
It's a
how
big
he's
island as well,
just
Cyprus.
40,000 miles from where he's king. Jesus Christ.
We got this big island.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous,
This
that.
Richard guy, man.
Military leader, yeah, he's on par with our military leader. No doubt.
So at this time, while this is happening with Richard, there's crusades already landed.
Yeah, France is already.
France and all that has landed in the Holy Land.
I would say, obviously, there was a lot of dukes to join in. It's not just England, France, and the Germans. There's
Yeah, there's a lot of
a lot of
European
dukes, yeah.
yeah.
The Emperor, the Holy Roman Emperor, doesn't last long. He dies from just some like dysentery or whatever.
It's the usual medieval death.
Yeah.
that puts Richard's army in charge, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so he turns. So at this time, Richard's sorting out Cyprus. At this time, there's a big battle at Acre.
Yeah, I always called it Acre. It's just
Acre.
easier for me, but I think it is like Accra.
Is it Acre? Which is it in Jerusalem? No, not Jerusalem. Is it in Palestine?
It's 50 miles. It's just further up north.
It's like up the coast. If you look at the coast, the coast is on the. For the listeners, the coast is on the left-hand side.
Yeah, so you think
like
about southeast Mediterranean to the extreme.
Yeah.
You've got Egypt, and then to your right, that's where Jerusalem is held. It's not on the coast, Jerusalem.
It's a bit inland,
further
yeah.
in. Acre is far more closer to the coast.
So I think Acre was a port
Northwest of Jerusalem.
further up the coast, further up north. And Acre, that was a really good like port city to take over as like a base, like another base for all the Crusaders to land
Also,
in.
checkpoints for getting the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Acre's one of the big ones.
Yeah. So at this moment, there's a massive siege going on with Saladin and the Crusades there, and Richard's not like there at the moment. He's sorting out his fucking side quests.
Side quest, weird.
So it like it goes on for a year, doesn't it, or something? This Acre, this because it's a stalemate.
Oh yeah, the French have only got 2,000. They're building these siege weapons.
Yeah. It goes on for
They need help.
it goes on for a long time, and it turns into a stalemate. So nobody could do anything, and basically Saladin like starves the Crusaders into submission, and they started eating the horses and everything. Like when you're eating everything they can get their hands on. And some of the Crusaders even converted to Islam to go over to the other side just to eat.
Just to eat.
They were just that hungry.
Oh my god.
I'm playing both sides, but I always come out on top.
Yeah. So it's just like stalemate of like nothing's happening. So in 1191, which is like nearly a year later after Richard set sail for the Holy Lands. Actually, when did he? It was 90, but I don't know what month it was. But this is May 1191. Richard arrives at the
Finally.
And the world is shook.
Yeah.
After Cyprus.
And he basically brings his army now, which is massive compared to the French and all that, who's fucking stalemate.
Yeah.
He comes in and...
Where have you been?
Yeah, literally that, isn't it? Like, what's the fuck's been going on?
Yeah. What have you been up to? Where have you been, Richard?
What's
Oh, I've
happening?
got a new island, by the way.
Yeah.
What?
So he flies in and basically sorts out. And this is the first time you've got Richard the Lionheart and Saladin, like on the same soil together, like close by happening. Like two fucking iconic legends. This is the first time now.
Shit.
So he turns up. What happens at this place? It's already been sieged, stalemate. Everybody's sat around starving, fucking all sorts of illness and everything.
Yeah.
First thing that happens to Richard is when he turns up, he gets ill. Immediately in the camp because it's the conditions are that bad.
Yeah.
And so while he's ill, he starts. Like everybody else hasn't done this before. He says he demands to start seeing Saladin and meet him face to face and have meetings, which kind of shows his like his what's the word?
Yeah, it's tactical.
Diplomacy, tactical diplomacy,
chivalry.
Right.
Yeah. Like all the other people were just the Crusaders and all that were just in the siege, just fucking fighting. We'll die or fight. Where he's ill and he's thinking, what can we do? What can we do here? Actually, I want to meet him. But Saladin refuses to meet, doesn't he?
I
think he refuses to meet. I think he's like they both got respect for each other, but he refuses to meet. I think he's.
I feel like At this point, they have skirmished a couple of times. There's been like during these sieges, Saladin isn't just letting these sieges happen. He's sending these little skirmish fights that happen.
Yeah.
Every time he's been repelled.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of the skirmishes aren't to like flat out win. It's just to annoy, to starve, to cause wounds.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
bit of
But
chaos.
they, like you said, they very much mutually respect each other. To the point, was you gonna say what you were gonna say about the doctors or?
Oh no, what you go
Well,
on.
Saladin respects Richard this much as a military leader that when he hears that Richard's ill, he sends his own doctors
Oh yeah,
Wow.
to
yeah.
go and treat
Yeah.
Richard.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because that is chivalrous, that isn't
Yeah.
it? And I got another one. He sends a load of fruit to Richard as well,
Really?
just to let you to help him heal.
Love exotic fruit.
Yeah, a load of
Some
fucking
mangoes.
Islamic fruit.
Lovely that.
And he burns it all. Heretics.
Yeah.
Don't want this food by the devil.
So after Richard recovered, he goes back and attacks Acre.
He just starts whooping ass.
Yeah,
Clearly
yeah.
up and down the
Now-
Holy Land.
Now he's back into like full force. He's
Yeah.
like, "Thank you for helping me heal, Saladin."
It's like a saying, like you hurt him, but when he comes back,
Shit's
he's
going
ready
down.
He's
Yeah,
ready.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
stronger than he ever was.
So he goes in and he literally goes in at the front line into Acre to siege wherever the castle, the port, and he's at the front line swinging limbs with his sword, like on the front line,
Yeah.
killing everybody.
It is reported by multiple sources that he was in the fight. It's a bit exaggerated that he was like Sauron, just like swinging his
Yeah.
big mace, and, like taking down tent like that, as it says in the chronicles.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but he was in the battle.
Like some
Fair play.
kings didn't they?
Some kings were pussies. Better.
Richard wasn't.
He was
No,
a
no, he
fighter.
fought on the front
he
line.
was on the front line doing it,
To be fair,
like Rommel.
you know that my friend said once to me that when Richard was in battle once, he got hit by a crossbow, and then he was getting treated on a stretcher and was still firing while on the stretcher.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bit further down,
That's
but
a
that
bit
happens.
further on into Richard's
Sorry,
life.
yeah.
Yeah, literally that.
Yeah, it's an
He's
important
a
point.
warrior. He's a warrior, isn't
That's
he?
mental.
Warrior king.
So he starts swinging limbs, takes on, and within a week he breaks down the Muslim army in the castle of the port and takes it over. They surrender, and that's when like Richard's level of like
Yeah,
warrior
that's when
mode.
that's cemented. That's when he gets his path to heaven.
That's when
When
it's
he
like
takes Acre.
right, Richard is the fucking real
Because he's
deal.
not only sieged down like one of these incredible cities, he's done it while Saladin, as one of the greatest military leaders ever, has been poking on his back. He's done a whole siege, fought off Saladin, and
Wow.
won.
While Philip II and all these other people are in the middle of it,
Well,
doing nothing,
one-
just
one-
fucking.
one of these dukes, like I don't know if it's Acre but a different place. They take it, and Richard puts up the English flag. Philip puts up the French flag.
Yeah.
And this duke from Germany puts up his flag.
Yeah.
But it's talk about moments that are going to shape someone's life in ways that
Yeah.
you don't expect. This duke tries to put his flag up next to them.
Tries to claim it.
And Richard charges his men with pulling down this flag and then stamping on it in front
Oh
of him.
my god,
So this duke just goes, "Nay, I'm done."
I'm done, yeah.
that's funny.
The French king not long after did the same.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
also done with Richard. So Richard ended up being like this sole guy and still kicking ass in the Middle
Yeah, he's
East,
fucking
but
doing it.
he's been that much of an ass. Everyone's left.
So at this point, Acre, whatever it is. So he's took control of it. He's got 3,000 prisoners now. These Muslim prisoners, and he's stuck with them because he wants to. Usually you could take them and use them at your place and stuff, but these want to move on now. The Crusaders want to carry on going down. They don't want to be like lumbered with. They'd have to leave people from his army to guard the prisoners. They have to look after him.
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck do we do here? What fucking
Could have just let them go.
do you reckon?
He's going south anyway. Those Muslims don't like. You don't understand how the city of Acre was fighting against not Jerusalem.
Yeah,
You understand how localized it was. You just put
Yeah.
those 3,000 men. They're not going to suddenly
They're not going to appear
charge to Jerusalem's defense. It was
They're
just
not
a
going
different.
to go right down
different
fucking.
sound. So yeah, I know the instinct you're talking about.
So he set up the an exchange for the cross. When he took the cross, Saladin took that like piece of fucking pallet wood. He said, "We'll have the pallet wood back if I'll give you the prisoners." That exchange.
Not just that, money, fruit, food,
Yeah,
basics.
but Saladin, they agreed like they have to pay in installments, as well, and he didn't do it in installments, didn't he? Saladin didn't turn up.
Saladin
he was stalling it.
Everything.
Yeah, literally.
He wasn't paying for those 3,000 men.
He was stalling it. They say so we could like prepare, tactically,
Yeah,
like
just cares
have
about
a
the next
gauge of
fight.
everything and like fucking what should we do here? And all these people, the prisoners were like, what the fuck? Just let us go. Like Saladin's stalling. Why don't you just like help us and get us gone? And eventually he delays that much. Richard's like, fuck this, and just executes them all. 3,000 people in the place in front of everybody.
And
Power
not
move.
just that, he puts their heads on pikes for the whole city to see.
Yeah.
Little bastard.
Like, in fact, a bit of a side tidbit. You ever played the first game, Assassin's Creed?
Oh yeah.
A long
That
time
takes
ago.
place 2 weeks maybe after those events that happen.
Yeah.
So you go outside the city walls and you can see all the heads on the spikes on the city walls.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Richard the Lionheart.
So at this point, he's got Accra.
Wow.
It's a strategic stronghold, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very that area,
Yeah.
very important. It's a huge city.
Yeah. So it's what is it? Step 1 completed.
Welcome back to the Brethren of Chaos.
Yes,
Was that all right?
Legendary.
There you go.
that was powerful.
I'm tired. That's what took all my energy out now.
That was like a religious experience.
I'm going
Thank
to
you.
grant you the Duchy of Anjou for that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's get back into the Richard.
What were we up to?
Richard the Knobhead.
Richard the Knobhead.
So it started.
He's took Accra.
Accra.
Yeah, he's got the first stepping stone, and he executed Saladin's troops, 3,000 of them. Now, Saladin, we can't really go into too much detail of Saladin, but Saladin is an episode in himself, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I know we're saying he's a legend and an icon. We haven't really said we've brushed over how.
Yeah,
but
a lot of his amazing
But
achievements.
people listening has to believe us on this one, that him himself is an unbelievable leader, warlord of
Yeah,
good
and
story, just chaos of
before
stories.
him, the Jerusalem to the Muslims, wasn't that like they were just accepted that the Catholics were in charge?
Yeah,
it was just
had it.
another city-state.
Yeah,
And it was Saladin, like you said, his dream and like these other slights that
his
happened to him.
jihad.
He's the one that's like, no,
We
it's
need-
our holy land.
Yeah, it's ours.
Right.
Yeah. So they've took Acre, the Richard the Lionheart, and they basically buy the time. What do we do? And Saladin is as well, isn't he? He's kind of like, right, they fucking told that.
Yeah.
What are they going to do next? Where should I go? What should I plan? Should I defend? Should I follow them? Like it's a bit of a. I don't know what you do in that situation. Just see what Richard the Lionheart does.
Yeah, and Richard himself comes up with some pretty novel tactics to travel his army south of Acre.
That's it. Yeah. Well, next step's Jaffa, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
Jaffa. But what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, well, a famous thing that he did was that he set up his troop columns to be perpendicular with the coast. And out on the coast, he had his he had his ships moving at the same speed as his thing. So everything was in one. He had access to water. He had access to quick escape.
Wow.
And one of it is if you're walking next to the coast, you're not going to get ambushed from that side.
Yeah.
You've basically eliminated one side that you can be ambushed on, aren't you?
And Saladin harassed this troop line.
Just for a laugh.
yeah, let's fuck this up.
Yeah, and Richard was like, don't, like, as much as you want to break off and start going fighting these troops, I know that they're harassing us to take the killing of men, do not break this line.
Yeah, stay within.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
Don't turn around and attack nothing. And what did they do? What
Did
did the
they turn
people
around?
at the back do?
What did
They
turn
turned around and they started attacking. And that ended up being one of the most bloodiest battles.
Really?
Both Saladin and Richard, yeah. And that's another story where Richard rode in, started
Fucking mince meeting.
Really?
meeting people.
He's
yeah.
like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it myself.
It's not talked about much, but it's a big...
Is that which battles? Is that the
I'm very bad with specific names of battles.
What's
My bad.
this? Oh, Asuf. It might have been.
No clue.
Basically, they were going to Jaffa, which is a far way. I know we probably can't see it on our globe, but
No.
to walk with an army, to go down the coast like that far, I don't know how far it is, but still like a proper mooch, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they have a battle before they get to Jaffa at Asuf. I don't know
It
how
could
you
be this
pronounce
one.
it. So it could be that one. It was before they got to their intended
Brutal.
place.
And it was
Where-
barely a win for Richard as well.
Well,
Really?
Richard had 11,000 or 10 to 11,000.
So a lot of men.
So that's a fair,
Yeah.
Still
fair amount.
5 times more than the French.
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And Saladin had 20,000.
Holy
So
shit.
double the amount of people.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
big army there. But it might be that one you're saying where it's ended up from like skirmishes and stuff into a full on like.
So too many men have committed, and now I have to commit everyone.
Yeah, I've got to go. And one of the ways Richard won it was he did it like a 3 charges. So he did the first charge of horses that scattered Saladin's like troops, and then he'd retreat. And as they scattered, then they'd do another charge, which would scatter them more, and then the final one. That's basically what they said in the reports of the battle was how he
Right.
won it. Like the third charge winning and just fucked them up. And like Saladin was like, yeah, we need to go, we need to get back here. This is fucking us up. Even though we got double the amount of people.
Yeah.
But that's like again the tactics of Richard Lionheart. It's fucking, he did whatever that was. I don't know the inner workings, but
he could very much, I don't know what the word, improvise in a battle.
improvise. That's it.
Yeah, whatever the situation was, he was very good at.
He just knew how to do
Yeah.
it.
Was
Was he a genius?
no, I wouldn't call him a genius by
No.
any stretch. He might have been a savant at being a leader, a military leader.
An
but
idiot savant.
If he was a genius, he would not have attacked his dad right before he got the crown for no reason whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a genius move in my eyes.
No, it's a good point. Like, what's his level of his
Intelligence.
to be you gotta know some stuff. I'm used to be so good.
Yeah,
at
to be a noble
battle.
in that time, he was one of the most educated people on the
Yeah.
planet because you just weren't educated as a peasant.
And to be the best fighter of the time, battle
Well, maybe.
leader.
Forget like this is very much at Saladin's end of Saladin's career rather
Yeah,
than
it's not
in his peak. That stuff he did with Jerusalem, that was like next level.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
Richard getting lucky?
No.
No, so it's all Richard.
It's a bit of both of the circle. Like Richard was the leader as a soldier. Richard's the leader that you want to be with. As another noble is not a leader you want to fight with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. He's not lucky. He's very skilled. I'm not going to take that credit away from him. But
I know what you mean.
circumstances help.
So by this time, Philip's gone back, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Philip II, who is the French king.
Yeah.
So I can't remember which point, but by this time he's fucked off. He's
Right.
gone, and one of his on the pretense that he is going to take over Richard's lands in France, Avignon, and all
It's going to
that.
help John take Richard's lands.
Yeah, so he's going back to fucking stab in the back Richard. So like when they went off, it was supposed to be a truce, and like the Pope's called it on all of Europe. You can't fight anybody who's on the Crusades. You're all together. You're all in it together. Now Philip's fucked off after Richard's come in and saved his life at the fucking
That
Acre,
siege, yeah.
and Philip's gone back. And he's gone with John, hasn't he, to plan
be fair,
to take
though,
over.
He wouldn't have never had to save his life. He didn't go and conquer an island in between the journey.
Yeah, I guess
If
so.
he had just got his soldiers back and joined in, it wouldn't have been a life-saving situation.
Yeah, it would have just been. They'd have just done it anyway,
Yeah.
wouldn't they? Yeah. So Philip's gone, and there's a few like there's that story you're saying about the flag. He's took the flag down for that guy.
Yeah, so
So
that dude's gone.
So that dude's gone.
Who is now the Emperor of Holy Roman Emperor has died, and so this Duke, I don't know if he's become the new Emperor because it was an
Yeah.
elected monarchy at this point, or he was related to the now new Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire,
And
who
he's-
despised
Yeah.
Richard the Lionheart.
So he hates Richard the Lionheart because he's like
Really?
embarrassed him with that flag incident in front
Oh,
of
yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what. But he's gone back. So there's like a rift going on with like all the people that's on the Crusade.
Yeah.
The Crusade's not healthy. It's not a healthy
And
environment
John,
to be
he
in.
promised to, like, after all this land, he said, don't go into England for 3 years.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, as soon as France King's back, he's like, yo, I've also got a claim on the throne. Help me, and you
Help.
can get back some of your lands in France.
Yeah. So some
Snakes.
backstabbing going on.
Snakes everywhere.
Then I don't know if Richard found out. Well, he did find out, but obviously I don't know how early it was that Richard found out what was going on with Philip II. He must have known though.
I don't think it's definitively said, because regardless of what was going to happen there, he was not going to he wasn't going to leave Jerusalem unfinished.
Yeah,
there was going to be some sort of resolution to
He's
this.
going to do it.
Well, maybe not even just that, but he needed a resolution.
Yeah,
It could have just been Richard cowardly ran away from the lands to go and get his own personal gain back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He had to get something out of this.
So they've got they get to Jaffa, and there's no fighting at Jaffa. He walks in, doesn't he? And at this point now, there's no fighting, so they say, let's regroup and recharge, recalibrate, and like see what to do. Because Jerusalem, as you said, is further inland. And what's Saladin up to? What's he been doing? And I know Saladin was sending people to have meetings at this point with Richard the Lionheart. Yeah. Not Saladin himself personally, but these. And Richard got like proper friendly with them, didn't he? And like formed a good friendship with these people from Saladin's army. These what do they call them? People. There's a name, isn't
ambassadors.
Ambassador, yeah.
They would be in that time period.
And he's supposed to be like really good friends. They formed a strong friendship between each other. Yet they were like on each side of the fucking war, fighting against each other. But they're at Jaffa, and
because I mean, reportedly, Saladin was actually not in a good position with his army at all at this point.
Yeah.
Like, as much as Richard's army was decimated, so was Saladin's. Like, he couldn't keep maintaining this level of...
Those 20,000
Richard had him on the ropes as much as he had Richard on the ropes. They just didn't realise how weak each other was.
They didn't know.
So one of them maybe needed to push further, and then...
Yeah, it could have been.
Well, this is argued amongst scholars to this day, that people that Richard led Saladin off too easy, and that if he had just known, he would have took Jerusalem. He only got 20 miles to Jerusalem.
Well, they were at Jaffa, and they were debating at this point now what to do. They could either go inland to Jerusalem, which is, it's roughly the same level, isn't it, Jerusalem? They just got to go inland.
Yeah.
Or Richard and some other people come with an idea to go further south and go to, what was it called? Ascalon, which is further south, it's further away from Jerusalem, but it's further south down the coast. Now, Ascalon was one of Saladin's main points between Egypt and the Holy Land.
Yeah, it was just before the turn. For better use of a word, it's like...
For the turn.
It's like here, on the edge.
So it's further down now.
Yeah.
So Richard's saying, if we take this place, then we'll take the stepping stone between Saladin's Egypt and where Saladin is in the fucking Holy Lands. Let's take that. And loads of people were saying, no, let's just fucking jump to Jerusalem and like take Jerusalem. But it was like there was loads of bickering basically, wasn't it? And they were stalling what to do, so nothing happens for a long while. And who's Conrad? Conrad's somebody. Is he? I think he was he the king of Jerusalem at one point, or is he the king of Accra now? I forgot to say. He basically. I
don't remember a Conrad. I'm sorry.
He becomes a king of somewhere, and Richard plans to leave at this point now because there's too much bickering going on. You know, like it's not going on, and he's got the problems back with Philip II. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go. Like, this isn't.
I'm fed up.
Yeah, this isn't working out properly, and he plans to leave. And basically, Conrad was stabbed in the street in the city of I think it was Accra or one. It was literally Assassin's Creed style.
Another convenient death for Richard.
Yeah.
So this king who he's got stabbed now. Richard's like was about to leave, and he's like, "Oh fucking hell!" now one of the people who's helping's dead. I'm gonna have to take the king, become king of whatever he was, and take back control again. And the people who stabbed him was literally it was like a league of assassins, wasn't it? Like
the Hashashin, was it them?
Was it?
They're the original assassins.
The
That's where the whole mythos comes from. It's the Hashashin.
I think it was.
Who'd smoke cash and kill people.
It was.
That's great.
It was a proper assassin like group.
Yeah. Well, that's what Assassin's Creed is based on. Is the Hashashin?
That's it. Yeah. And they say
listen to reggae and then going out and fucking shiving people.
Get murked.
Fucking hell.
But they say these assassins they didn't know the true who ordered the assassination of that Conrad. Nobody can really trace who who paid the assassins or what was the motive. Was it from Saladin? Was it Philip II? Was it Richard? You know, like nobody can really tell. But so basically, this Conrad, this king, was fucking stabbed by a cult of assassins.
Lovely.
And Richard.
Is this season 3 or season 4 of Richard the Lionheart?
Yeah.
Which one is this?
Which season are we on?
After all the bickering in between of it.
Assassinations.
You know, season 1 was cool, but season 2 it went off a bit.
Yeah, I mean that Sicily arc, Cyprus arc was bloody mental.
Yeah,
Like,
that
he came
was
up with
The
that.
ending to season 3 was top.
God, like they tease the Crusades all the way through, and then there's one season in Cyprus. What the hell?
We
I
needed
love
more of that. So basically, as Richard decides to stay and he's going to be king, this other guy comes in, who Henry of Champagne, and he takes control, the king of, I think it's Acre. I should have took the witch down. So there's like, what I'm trying to say is there's loads of fucking like politics sitcoms going on in the middle of the crusade as they're trying to fucking take Jerusalem in the big war. There's loads of these people coming and going, like fucking causing problems, bickering,
fighting over a title that, like, during a war but would mean nothing.
Yeah. And Richard decides to stay, and he's like, after all the bickering, he's like, fuck it, let's just go all out to Jerusalem
Again?
Well, they didn't go. They were like in that weird like limbo of what to do.
Yeah, what to do.
Like Richard was trying to go for the place further south,
Yeah.
and they didn't go and all that. And then he decides to leave. He comes back after all the fucking politics and says, "Fuck it, let's just go to Jerusalem. Let's fuck this shit up." And as they go there, like on the way, Saladin pulls out that fucking good old move of poisoning all the water on the way, which is I don't know if you could. How can you even like sort that out when it happens to you?
I'm pretty sure it's at this point as well that Saladin's sent a force and just retaking Acre real quick.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's another checkpoint lost.
Yeah. So they decide to go for Jerusalem and they all out. Richard the Lionheart and his crusades, and all the water's fucking poisoned like previous escapades.
Oh, that's Saladin. Tell you.
Fucking pulling out
the old poison everyone.
And they have to like abandon that assault. Like we can't do it. We didn't even like get near it, didn't we?
20 miles. They got within 20 miles of Jerusalem. As I was close.
Saladin's great, isn't he?
He's like, that's not even fighting, isn't he? He's just poisoning water wells.
It's like, oh, my army's struggling. Well, good luck drinking water.
Yeah. Good luck having some H2O.
That is the last straw for Richard.
Well, as he goes, well, there's a few more big battles here.
My bad.
As they attack Jerusalem, Saladin does a counterattack and attacks Jaffa.
Counterattack.
He attacks Jaffa. Yeah, literally a counterattack. And goes to Jaffa, the place where they just strolled in at their base where they were bickering.
Yeah.
And he takes that. And at this time, Richard's gone to Jerusalem. So we have to like picture this as like a triangle here. Richard's gone from Jaffa to attack Jerusalem, but failed. Yeah. So he goes back up to Acre. And at this time, Saladin comes in with a counterattack and takes Jaffa. So Richard's back at Acre now, and he hears, oh, fucking hell.
And that's all they've got, to be fair, really.
Jaffa's gone. And he said, he's like Richard was saying, that Jaffa's like such a strong point because it's so close to Jerusalem. If we ever want to attack Jerusalem,
you have to go through.
We need Jaffa to supply and fucking all that. So he says he sends all the forces he can get to Jaffa and like protect that stronghold. And a massive siege takes place. It was the July the 28th, and it was basically a proper siege warfare. You know, like the catapults and all that. Like we were saying, Saladin's taking Jaffa. The Christians are inside holding out. And and Richard's at Acre, further up the coast, trying to send all his forces down. And they hold out right up until, and it's on the August the 1st, the Saladin breaks the lines and everything and gets in and breaks through the walls of this city. And the Christians retreat into the citadel. Or what is the citadel? Like the church bit or something?
Yeah, like the temple. Or
the temple.
Yeah.
So they retreat back into the temple. So as Saladin's forces go in, they take the city, but they haven't took it fully because the army's still in there. They just retreated into the citadel. And they're trying to force them out, trying to do peace treaties and stuff. And eventually, on August the 1st, so what's that? It's like 5 days later, is it? Or something like that, from July 28th.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5, yeah.
So they get in and they do a peace treaty. They'll say, we'll let the Christians out and let them walk free. We won't kill him again, like Saladin did that the first time. We'll let him out and you can.
And this is after Richard's killed 3,000 Muslim prisoners.
Their heads on spikes.
Yeah. So literally, and so as they agree to that, and they're walking out of the castle, and as they're walking out,
Oh, here we go.
Richard appears on the coast
Oh.
with his ships rock up, and this priest is running in the water, spills into the water, swims over to the ship as they're landing, and like calls to Richard and says, this is like seconds now, you've got to get in there and take the city again before they walk out, or they've the treaty's been accepted. So Richard's like, here we go, fucking jumps off like Aragorn off the ship, and that's like another massive battle there. Where so it was Saladin had 10,000 people, and Richard only brought 2,000 people.
Fuck. So,
and he only had 20 knights on horses.
Shit.
And he charged at the people who were.
By the way, all wrote by like Christian scholars. Like, for all we know, we had 20,000 men and 400 armored knights.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they're bulking him up a bit.
You've got to who's your guy, innit? But it's a story.
Yeah.
Well, one of the chronicles was from Saladin's side. His name was like Saladin or something like that. Sardin, and he did a lot of chronicling of this crusades, but he never seen Richard Lionheart in person. He was always like off the battlefield or in a different city when it was happening or whatever. And at this point, he's seen Richard Lionheart with his own eyes jumping off the ship and running into that.
That's a cool moment.
And
Chad.
Imagine that, like, he's been chronicling these battles here, like the main culprit.
Saladin and him just like all the way up around the Holy Lands, just smashing into each other. He never sees him,
and he fucking sees him here running in off the ship into the water. And he says at that point he's like literally swinging limbs, like I said before, with his sword, just mowing down people, getting into the city. And it was like loads of people, like you say, reporting about this epic battle. Like Richard's fucking slayed so many people. They've charged into the city, and Saladin he refuses to retreat. But all of his people watching these like small group of people, and only 20 knights, as it says, on the horseback running in, like take the city again after they've had this massive long siege and was just about to get the treaty, get the Christians to walk out. After they say that, or his whole army just crumble and like say, well, we can't do this, while Saladin's like saying, fucking do it. They're crumbling and going the other way and turn his back on Saladin.
Wow.
And Saladin's like, oh my god, who is this Richard the Lionheart? What is he doing? And basically they form this they make a truce there. Saladin knows, I think, like this is just a lost cause here now. Richard's too, but like you said, they didn't realise how weak each other was.
Yeah, I mean, like if Richard's coming in with 2,000 men for this desperate battle, how many men has he got left altogether? Saladin's in his homeland, but he's also his army's now fractured broken as well. They're both spent everything for these battles. And I don't think they realise how much they've weakened each other.
But on that battle is when they made the truce,
right?
And they said they basically let Richard the Lionheart and the Crusaders keep Acre, didn't they? I think it was Acre and Jaffa.
Some of the cities remained under Catholic rule.
The Catholic rule of the coast, but Saladin keeps.
Muslims keep Jerusalem. But it is now like part of the treaty was that every Catholic would be given free safe passage to the Holy Land as long as it remained in Muslim land. So it was victory in some way. So
like, to what levels was it a victory? I think it was kind of, they just ended up the same almost, wasn't it? Apart from that's the only thing that they got out of it, was that the Catholics could travel to Jerusalem.
Without persecution.
But they didn't get Jerusalem.
But they didn't get the Holy Land.
They didn't make any Holy Land, didn't they? And Saladin's kind of he just kept what he had, didn't he? Really. He's lost a few cities on the coast.
But his prophecy remained true, didn't it? Jerusalem remained in the Islamic hands.
Wow. Well done, Saladin.
Well, story's not over there.
Okay.
Do you know what's coming next? The next bit.
Are we on about what for Richard?
Yeah, Richard.
Oh no, he's still got one hell of a journey to go on, Richard.
I'm not sure what happens with Saladin. His story after this.
Well, maybe that's why we need to do an episode on it.
I think Saladin would be a great episode. On
He
that.
Dies, believe it or not. He's not alive to this day.
Yeah,
Really?
I think only a couple of years after this point does he live.
Is it? Yeah. After all that.
Yeah.
So, on the October the 9th, 1192, Richard decides to leave them. After they made that truce, he chills around a bit, doesn't he, on the coast?
Stays in Jaffa.
Stays in Jaffa.
Probably like, I need a minute after everything that's happened.
Yeah, needs a minute. After his whole life, after everything that's happened in his life.
Half of that was his fault, though.
Yeah. I need a fucking drink. Give me a stein of mead.
Oh, give me a Jaffa cake.
Give me a Jaffa cake, yeah. So basically, he leaves on October the 9th, 1192. And he's travelling. He goes with a few ships, and they go to Cyprus, load up, and he sells Cyprus off, doesn't he, to the Crusaders, the Templars,
Right. I didn't know that.
the Knights Templars, who take control. Like, it's still like they're all the same
Yeah.
people.
I knew it just remained in Catholic hands.
Yeah.
All I knew.
The Knights, he sells it off to the Knights Templars, which is just like an order of
Fucking sells everything. This Richard.
Crusaders.
I know.
So Richard, he's thinking, all right, I've done me crusade. It kind of worked, kind of didn't. I'm coming back to England to sort out fucking.
He certainly did a lot better than the other bloody rulers that showed up.
I know, yeah, literally. But he's coming back to sort out his lands, Philip II and John.
Yeah, what's Philip up to?
Yeah, so they're having battles now, aren't they? With the barons under Richard.
Yeah, they're just taking all the land in France back bit by bit.
There's battles going
trying
on.
to take Aquitaine.
They're not in England. England is just fine, but they're taking all the land.
Yeah,
back in
all
France.
them places. And so Richard's like, right, I've got to get back, sort this fucking problem out now.
I've been trying to take Jaffa, and you've been trying to take Aquitaine.
Yeah.
Cunts. What are you doing?
So he
Pope, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Come on.
See what's going on
Come
here? So he jumps on ship, goes across the Med, and he was supposed to. So basically, a storm happens and he gets led off straight. He was supposed to land in Italy near Venice, which is like the east coast of Italy.
Yeah.
So if you think that little sea bit in between Italy and Europe, he was supposed to land on the east. A storm takes place and pushes him, makes him land on the west, which is like Czech Republic.
What?
I don't know. No, that's inland, isn't it? Oh my god. What's the country?
You mean, right, here's a map.
Yeah.
So we got a globe here.
This side.
Yeah.
These.
So the west side of Italy. Up here.
If anyone can picture a globe.
Yeah, so anyone picture a globe, it's like Burgundy-ish.
So but he doesn't land in Italy. He lands on the other side of the sea bit, which is.
He's sure not, like, I'll give you the one with the notes, but he's sure he won't, not the other way around, because he wanted to land on the west, but ended up getting landed on the east. Because he tried, and I'm sure
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Travel.
Yeah, that's
through
what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. He wanted to land on the west, which is the east coast of Italy. That's where I'm confused. He's like, he wants to land on the west, and he gets blown and lands on the east, which is Serbia.
At that point, yeah, but
Hungary.
That's like an amalgamation.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's a mess.
That's an episode in itself. That
Yeah.
place.
But he wants to get to Saxony.
So he's got is it his cousin or somebody
Yeah, it's his
in
cousin.
Saxony,
Which relates back to Matilda.
which
But
relates back,
that's- yeah, but
who
that's
will
another-
give him safe passage back to his country.
And like
Right.
money and troops.
Yeah.
As well,
But so he's crash landed basically in foreign land now, and he basically
disguises himself as a peasant.
he disguised himself as a peasant
Wow.
because he hears that because everybody
everyone fucking despises him.
yeah
Oh, okay.
everybody wants him as ransom.
Yeah.
So he disguised himself as a peasant.
Well, he puts on a fake mustache or something.
Yeah.
Literally holds up. He's like, ignore my 50 personal guard. Every peasant has that.
Yeah.
Can
So-
you,
He literally walks from town to town across this like
Yeah. Up
Hungary
north,
or
going up north.
going up to like Vienna, Austria, going up to get
Saxony is northern Germany.
to get to northern Germany where he knows he'd be safe. So he's in complete behind enemy lines. He can't give his his fucking face up.
yeah.
And slowly throughout the walk, he starts swintering off. Like he sends people other ways to shorten it, and he gets his right hand man who was through the Crusades with him to act as him, to pretend to be Richard and like get captured.
Oh, that's funny.
And
I hope he was paid a lot of money for that.
Now that's genius. To be fair, that is great.
And this guy agrees to it. He's right-hand man. He's that loyal to him.
Yeah.
He says, "I'll pretend to be you, and I'll get captured and be interrogated and probably be like tortured
I
and
thought
everything."
Richard was 6'5". You're 5'4", and
You've got
was he 6'5"? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're fat and obese. But wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
What happened in Jaffa?
There's a lot of food in Jaffa.
What was Saladin's beard like?
Yeah.
So he's working his way up through. Now the guy who had his flag stamped on, you remember that guy, Charles?
Yes.
And he fucked off.
Yes.
Now he hears, oh, Richard's crashed. He's somewhere in these lands, and tracks him down. And
the
No,
real
but
Richard
show-
or the
show what
fake
gives-
Richard?
the real Richard.
The real Richard.
And-
Do you know what gives real Richard away?
Go on.
It's after all the disguising, all of these things that he sets up, all of these traps. He's still got his big old fucking ring on him.
Fuck off.
That gives him away. as the
Oh,
king
what
of
a
things.
dickhead. What a dickhead.
Can't take his
A
big
big old
ring.
Maybe
Really
he's not a
crust-
genius.
He's a
Maybe
random peasant,
stupid.
but he's got a ring the bloody old gem.
Slides a ring. Fucking Hall of Fame ring on his
Yeah,
finger.
exactly. Oh, I'm just a normal dude walking around
You know, you might as well walk with a
with a
crown,
ring
mate.
that's worth more than your entire duchy.
That's hilarious.
So he captures him, doesn't he? He kidnaps him
Yeah.
and gets him and holds him to ransom.
Oh, and what a ransom it is as well.
It's a fucking powerful ransom. Was it?
150,000 marks of the day, which was England's GDP for the entire year.
Yeah, it's the whole.
The
The
entire
whole.
year.
Shit.
That's what he holds him ransom to, doesn't he? And how long does he have him ransom for? Is it a while?
I don't think it's a while, but it's not like a ridiculous one. It's just enough time for them to gather the money.
Yeah,
And
that's
pay,
it. Yeah.
and pay them
So
off.
does he torture him or anything?
No, there's no torture.
Keeps him?
He's still a king's hostage. You don't torture king hostages.
Right, okay.
Even though
that
he
makes
hates
sense.
him,
No, even though he hates him and all that, he's
Yeah.
still a Catholic. It's
Was
not
it-
the
he
right
was
thing
still-
to do.
he
He's
was-
God's chosen.
I think. I remember coming across. He was like playing music in his cell.
Was
They
it?
gave him instrument. It's.
I wonder if they just like kept getting the English flag and then stamping on it. You know, like they did.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
footless.
Hey!
another day, another stamping.
That got you, didn't it?
Hey.
But yeah, so that guy got him and held him ransom. So imagine Richard now at this point. He's done, like, literally from the start of this episode, all the stuff he's done. And he's in his cell fucking being held to ransom. Like, what the fuck's going on here? But he gets let off, doesn't he?
Yeah, they paid like
They paid it?
Oh, it plunges England into
Yeah,
debt
yeah.
that affects
Who
the next.
pays it? Who decides then?
Well,
When they're back
basically,
in England.
It was just he was still the king. You know,
So
it's
they
weird,
kinda
it's a
had to,
weird
in a way,
politics,
yeah.
but they literally did gather the money for it.
Wow.
And think he's already took loads of money from England
Yeah, he's already done
for
this.
funding for his
For that
crusade.
Crusades, and then
Yeah.
and
They've got to pay for his ransom.
So, entire year's GDP.
so this flag guy's richest of the
He's
rich
fucking done it.
right now.
Oh, but like I said, one moment of just taking down a flag and stamping on it
Yeah,
literally spells the ticking clock on Richard's reign.
that's amazing.
Madness.
So
And not just his reign.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now my notes go blurry. Now I'm not sure what happens, but
So he does get back to
he
England.
gets back to England. Is that where he goes first? England, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. Like,
Finally.
Like, after all
a lot
that.
of people assume that he goes to France after that and then starts getting land, but he does actually go back to England,
Yeah.
which is his second time as of King of England, of
Yeah.
actually being in
After
England.
all
This
these
is after
years.
the
That's
entire
crazy.
crusade and time as a hostage. But he gathers the men.
He's like bonjour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bonjour.
Bonjour, I am the King of England, and how dare they take Normandy back from us English brethren. He gathers his troops. He gets like I said, we don't. It's a bit blurry, but from what I
There's still a lot of support from him in a
yeah,
way.
of course. Like he's still the king. Like being the
Yeah.
king, he's still going to get support from people.
Yeah, yeah.
John's a usurper. It's the king of France who gives a shit what he says. From
Yeah.
our perspective. So he does gather enough troops, and it's immediately leaves for France, and one by one starts taking the territories back.
So he
Just
Smashes
straight away.
he basically does
back
a
into-
crusade
Immediately, like.
in France.
Well, yeah, but think about it this way: like, he immediately comes back after taking 19,000 Englishmen, gathers another army after bankrupting the country
Another
with
army.
money,
God.
and goes back to a foreign war. From
He's
the
got a
English
taste of it, hasn't he?
perspective. Imagine, like,
Loves it.
but
loves it.
when he gets to France, victory after victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
One by one, he gets the castles back.
You can.
And the King of France is evading capture by milliseconds
Yeah,
at this point.
It's literally what you say, one by one, just battle
Just
after
bam,
battle.
bam,
He's
bam.
just turning up, raping, fucking slaughtering them
fair-
all. Next one.
Let me ask though, like, if you feel like you're Richard, right? If
Yeah.
you know that you're going back there, you can do it 100%. There's
Yeah.
no doubt there, right? You'd do it, wouldn't you?
You've got the
Yeah,
confidence.
fuck-
You-
yeah, that's-
Yeah.
At this point, as religiously, you'd feel like you've survived being in the Holy Land's ill.
Yeah,
Fought
yeah.
the biggest bad motherfucker in the time, that is Saladin.
Yeah.
And
You've been
beat him multiple times.
Yeah, and you've been held you've been kidnapped.
Now my little
survived
brother
that.
and the King of France want some.
These fucking
Fucking
these two
easy
idiots.
peasy.
Yeah,
He would be
these two idiots who
confident.
ran
He'd be
away.
confident as hell.
Yeah.
And so he smashes castle after castle, gets all the land back.
Literally takes all of it back. Just
Makes
like
John bend the knee. Eventually captures John.
Oh my god.
so. Yes, he catches John, and
And you think he'd just kill him?
you think
But he
Nah.
forgives him.
yeah,
Nah.
forgives John.
Probably because at this
Says
point
the
Rich is
same
like,
line.
I did the same thing. We all did a little bit of rebelling in our day.
Basically, I have to forgive you.
Yeah. So that he forgives John, but obviously there's still a lot of land in the French king.
Yeah.
So there's only a couple of castles left, isn't there?
Yeah.
And he gets to one particular castle.
Mm.
They're sieging it. And he surveys the battle scene. He gets no armour, nothing. He walks up to the lines, surveying the men. And one lone French crossbowman spots him.
But while he's walking around,
While
just
he's
like
walking
just
around.
looking, see,
Suspects
eyeing
the
up
troops. All right, they're like, keep up.
this French crossman
One
on the
Frenchman.
castle wall, pokes his head over.
Oh, hang on. Why's that? That guy looks important.
Yeah, look. I'll get me crossbow.
And one shot right to the shoulder knocks him down.
Fuck.
And is this the story you was on about what he was like shooting crossbows off? while he was
yeah.
on the-
Oh no, that was
Or is
another.
different-
That was in
is
the
different?
was in
Oh,
the Crusades
was that in the
actually.
Crusades?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
So I'd
might
never heard this story before. This
that
one
might
about shooting
be the one
crossbows
where
off.
he was ill at Accra. Maybe when he got ill. You know when he
Yeah,
turns
my,
up.
Oh,
my
you
friend
said, yeah,
just
he was
mentioned
ill.
it
I think
to
it's
me.
that, yeah.
He got hit by a crossbow and he was on the stretcher and he was still shooting.
Yeah,
on
they
the
brought the
stretcher.
stretcher out onto the
Oh,
battlefield.
so this is the
and
second
he's
crossbow
shooting
that he's taken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is-
probably.
So he takes this crossbow
Yeah.
and immediately like it's not right.
Hmm.
Something's wrong. So they take him away, scramble him away to a tent, and we're circling back to what we were talking about at the beginning. But it gets gangrene.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the
Of all
usual.
things,
I thought it
and
was gonna
in those
circle back.
days, even they know. Like it said,
Yeah,
they saw
that's-
the gangrene and
Yeah.
they knew he was gone.
That's
That
it.
was it.
You're logging off.
So little side story.
Yeah,
That French crossbowman was captured, and he was brought before Richard.
but on his Richard's deathbed.
Wow.
He was brought
this
before
little-
Richard,
This little yeah.
and he forgives him,
Wow.
and he gives him money, and he sets him free.
He basically
Yeah.
says like, "Well done."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
you got me.
it's more like fair play, innit?
Yeah.
Like we're in a war.
To be fair, what are you thinking if you're Richard on your bed there? Are you accepting it and then you're not being a dick anymore?
Yeah,
Or are you wouldn't be angry, would you? You
Just
wouldn't be
like
angry.
fucking
You'd be
raging.
like, wow.
To him, he's got his place in heaven.
Yeah.
he's done it.
He's
And
done
he
it now.
100% believes it. So
He's
Yeah.
took back most of his
Yeah.
land.
And he just thinks,
He's
one
forgiven his
silly
little-
little
yeah,
thing.
he's literally second to last castle. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's tangent time again. My
No,
apologies.
no.
Yeah.
But when he gets to Battersea, not all of England is on his side.
Yeah.
And so there is one particular place that he wins his first battle back from the Crusades.
Yeah.
And that's Nottingham. Yeah, Nottingham.
Wow.
Nottingham.
Which is where the story of Robin Hood takes place, which is all about how when King Richard dies and John takes over, is when Robin Hood takes place.
Oh,
which
is it?
Sheriff
Holy
Nottingham.
shit.
What?
That is
What?
amazing.
There we go.
So
Maybe
yeah,
Robin Hood.
there's your connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, he sets this crossbowman free. He was immediately captured by the English troops and flayed alive.
Yeah. After he sets this guy free.
Fucking
This
hell.
lad-
With money.
This lad's like got money, seen the king is killed, and been like, wow, the king's like fucking said fair play, go and live your life. And then the king dies.
Yeah.
And they're like, you've killed our fucking king.
And they grab him again.
'Cause-
Fucking like absolutely
and flay him, of all things.
He gets flayed. Go on, tell the listeners what flaying is.
Oh, it's when...
I know.
Oh yeah, for the listeners.
Yeah, for the listeners,
It's when
yeah.
you are very slowly skinned alive, and you're put into a big cross.
That's why my eye reaction was like,
Yeah, And they would have used that. They would have repurposed that skin as well. It would have been made into books.
Do you know what
or
Flayed
flags
reminds me
or-
of as well? You know, Midsummer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The guy gets
Yeah,
fucking
when he's
like
like,
that.
that's exactly what it would have been like.
That's what it reminds me of. It's disgusting, though.
I bet he really regretted just taking that shot on the wall.
I know,
at that
yeah.
point.
Cheeky shot.
I mean, but then again, you killed
Yo,
King
the guy.
Richard.
Yeah, he's a peasant whose name
We're-
is now.
we're
Remember. I can't
we're
remember it off the
yeah,
top of my head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
But it
talking
is
about
wrote
him.
down.
Yeah.
You know, and
What a way to go, though, eh?
yeah, that from it, like
Silly.
just
Me and Steve always say when we're doing this podcast about these either notorious serial killers
yeah.
or, you know, history figures, they always get caught in some silly fucking
Yeah,
way.
it's
or like
nonsense
a
way, isn't it?
Silly, nonsensical way.
Yeah.
Inspecting your troops.
Yeah,
Boom.
Yeah.
just having a look at your troops, seeing what's going on for your attack.
This is Castle 200th in my life. What could go wrong?
But this is why I ask, in a way, did he get lucky from evading death for so long? Because he's on the
Yeah.
battlefield, he's swinging, blah, blah, blah.
On the front line.
I mean, one hit and that's it. You got through fair bit, didn't
Yeah,
you?
he did, literally. There are
through a
a
bit.
serious amount he's evaded death.
He's
Yeah.
evaded death a lot of times, yeah. Holy shit.
But like I said, like for me, as a king of England, minus.
No.
Minus.
As a military leader, as a Duke of France,
Yeah.
very famous.
Duke of
The
Aquitaine.
Duke of Aquitaine was and then wasn't,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Mama took it back. But he died in his mum's arms, by the way. I forgot to mention that. He
No.
died in Eleanor's
Eleanor
arms.
came back and was like,
Eleanor turned up and he died in her arms. Yeah.
God, bloody hell, Eleanor.
Named Johnny's hair and all
she's
that.
a bitch. No, I'm joking, I need
Well,
to learn more about
you know,
her.
think about what she saw and outlived.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, imagine what she saw. She saw her own 3 sons die.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
No, not. I think she died.
Oh, was it? Well, there was young Henry died, Richard died, and then was it? Who was the other one?
John.
Joffrey,
It was
Joffrey, and then John was the.
the king. John became.
Did Joffrey die?
I'm not sure, did he?
Well, he didn't make it to king, so I don't know what happened. I
Yeah.
can't remember what happened to
but
Joffrey.
John became king after
Yeah.
Richard, yeah.
Right.
And he's famously known as the worst king that England ever
Yeah,
had.
literally.
Maybe we have to do.
Both.
a podcast on it.
Honestly, he's supposed to be the.
Yes,
the-
but it's because of what Richard left behind for him, which
Ah,
was a
right.
severely bankrupted, depleted kingdom
yeah.
that no men from crusades and wars and no money from crusades and
Yeah.
hostages taken. And John gets a lot of blame for that.
That's just.
John lost a lot of land in France, and it's all blamed on him and not
I'd be
Richard.
fuming.
Yeah, after that was when France took a load of.
Started taking land back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
under
Why
John.
wouldn't they carry on and just take all the land back with France? This is just because Richard and they see him down and out and yeah.
Just-
why wouldn't they carry on?
But with John,
No, I mean like take him back. So obviously he got hit, didn't
Yeah.
he, when he
Yeah.
was besieging those last 2 castles?
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't they carry on after? Did they
Yeah,
just
just-
completely stop? Or
Yeah,
well, the English forces or the French
yeah.
forces?
the English forces.
Yeah.
Oh, the English. Yeah, well, it was more like that's when it becomes about succession. And those last
I
2
see.
kingdoms, those last 2 castles would be under the jurisdiction of, I think it was Aquitaine was the last land he was getting back.
Right.
So when succession happens, those castles they're still under the formal rule of the Duke. It will be his responsibility, or the new King John.
You got to do
John
that.
had his own host of problems and a couple of goddamn castles in
Right.
Aquitaine.
So yeah, fucking crazy.
What a story.
Yeah, it's
What do you think,
good.
Charles?
I mean, it led to the Magna Carta as well.
yeah, the
all that stuff.
the Barons sorting all that out.
Yeah.
I love how it just spirals onto so many different things, as you said, the connections with
Yeah.
other things.
All
It's
the way
just-
to like Agincourt and stuff like that. It's due to the lands that Richard kept.
There's one connection here that me and Charles, we went to York and we went into what was the tower called? The castle
Oh fuck! I can't remember.
on the hill, and we were looking. A load of Jewish people
Yeah.
went into the castle and got killed,
All right.
and that was the time
Oh,
when Richard was in the Crusades.
Yeah.
There was a big like Jewish fucking
Uprising.
killing of the Jews. Yeah.
Jesus.
That was the same. That was by whoever was in charge of England at the time when Richard was in the
Yeah.
Crusades. That happened. We
Yeah,
freaking,
yeah.
Well, the story of Robin Hood is that he's a crusader that went on the Crusades with Richard
yeah.
and comes back to England when Richard goes to France to get his lands back. And he's seen as like best mates with Richard Lionheart and stuff like that. Was supposed to be the person in charge of Nottingham, and that's when it all kicks off.
I see.
Wow.
Yeah, because the sheriff of Nottingham, isn't it,
Yeah.
who's fighting against
Who
him?
is a rebel, basically.
Yeah, I see.
in
I
history.
see.
Great episode.
There we go.
Great episode.
Fucking blasted one.
So
out
Richard, love him or hate him, is a leader of a military.
there.
Yeah.
prowess or
I agree with you. I think as an English, he's just like, what did he
I don't
do?
even think you can class him as English.
Barely an
really.
English king.
Yeah. All he did was highly tax it, take all the people from it for war.
He's a bit of a knob.
His
Yeah.
greatest acts came from without nothing to do with England. The Crusades, taking his land back in France.
And we have 3 lions as we go and play footy.
That's it.
On our chest.
Well, I mean, a lot of that comes from Henry II, so
Oh, okay.
Oh, does it?
yeah. It's the Plantagenets. Crest is the lion.
Yeah, the Plantagenet. Was he the first
It's
Plantagenet?
a mix between the lions and the fleur-de-lis, because Henry claimed the French throne as his throne as well.
Fuck
So that's why we
I
have
didn't know
them.
that.
Henry was a badass, man. Henry was
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
alone. We
Maybe we
touched
do
on him a
Henry
bit, but he
II,
was.
yeah.
Was he the first Plantagenist after the
No,
Normans?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I only know bits and pieces. And that's,
Yeah.
No, you know a lot. Fucking hell, yeah.
Historian.
Yeah.
No, but it's more like if something interests me, I'll go and read all.
I mean,
of
yeah, I know
course.
what you mean.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's fair, and it's always admirable to see something like that.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
is.
You two especially. Fuck me.
Oh,
You read so much.
I just
Yeah,
love
Stephen's a fountain of
I
knowledge.
love this like era of history,
Yeah.
medieval history. No, I know some medieval history can be boring to some people, but when it's just chaos like this, it's just non-stop.
We need an
of
Alfred
just,
the Great episode as
yeah,
well.
Alfred the Great.
What a story that is.
They say he's like the father of England, don't they?
Yeah, he's in my opinion the best king we ever had. Him and Ethelstan.
Ethelstan.
He's his grandson
Ethelstan.
of Alfred.
Yeah. Oh,
Alfred the Great is the only English monarch to ever have the Great
Wow.
as his moniker. The only one. There's a reason why.
yeah.
So, how long have we done?
God, done the 2 hours 20 there.
That's good for me.
Done a long
That's
one.
class.
That's good for me.
That's a powerful
That is-
time.
Absolutely flown by.
Yeah.
It does. It does. To be
Yeah.
fair, when we always say, don't we?
Just need better
And
chairs.
I love
That's
how
all we
like
need.
you were early life and you were the Crusades. That was like a really nice.
Well, that's
Mix
what
it up.
Steve. Because I normally a lot of the times come in as a bit of a culprit and not really understanding.
Yeah, there's a few episodes we've dropped on Charles where it's like he doesn't even know the episode
Yeah.
until we start doing
So
it.
I'm just reacting.
We did Fred West a few weeks ago.
Right,
Oh.
okay.
He didn't know until
I didn't
like
know
Until you're
anything.
here, like getting the full
It was
info.
fucking mental.
What was the Paul one about? Is the only, I've not seen that one yet. I've been trying to go through.
oh, but yeah, that's
It's just about tanking.
Chronicles.
yeah, just like funny stories.
Oh, like in the
Tank
Tony
Tales,
Bars,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that,
I mean, we've done a lot of episodes. I went away to York for a year, so Steve basically took and ran
held
with
the
this,
fort, held the
held this
siege.
down and did.
So he's been to the Crusades in York.
Yeah, he's done the Crusades.
Yeah.
He's took over all your land while you're
Yeah,
gone,
he
mate.
took all me yeah, no, this is Steve's. This is Steve's.
no, it's not. No, I'm
Yes,
having
it is.
No.
Own it.
that. No.
Own it, buddy. All right.
Well, that's a top episode. Thank you
Yeah,
for
Thank
coming
you
on.
so much for inviting me on. It was a nice surprise when you messaged me last week, but
Well, we need to. Yeah, you need to come back on. Definitely
I loved it. It was
do
great.
some more chaos.
You two are boss. Very chilled, and casual.
Oh, that's what
we want,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Fuck.
Just have a-
Knives, holy books and globes,
I mean, yeah, that's all Steve. I'm
and
not
the
going
odd
to take credit for
Confederate
that.
flag flying
yeah,
about.
it's all on my side here.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, now, oh, you got the globe, you got beers.
Yeah.
Duh.
Well, hopefully when you come back, better chairs and a mini fridge.
Yeah, that's it. That's
what we
need.
want. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah,
Sick.
lovely stuff. I hope the listeners have enjoyed that. Should check us out on Instagram, Spotify,
Apple Podcasts.
Anyway, you can
Google
support these two.
Podcasts.
Do it.
Amazon
Yeah.
Music.
For sure, do it.
So many stuff.
Well, thank you and adios.
Adios.
Good night.
This was brought to you by Merdley Productions.